currently at number 2, Frost Close. Starting outside of the house, there's black gates going right the way around. There's one gate here to get to the back, and there's also another gate to get in the front. They're quite dirty. They've got sort of green mould on them, and quite a lot of the paint is chipped off as well. As we step in through the gates, there's grass leading around the front of the house, which is being quite well kept at the minute. We have some shrubs this side. The door is black, it's wooden, there's some paint chipped off around the top, and actually on the door as well, you can see. It's gold, there's a gold number 2, slightly rusty, and there's also a doormat outside. As you step in through the house, there's a little thing where you can look outside from. There's also curtains up, they're sort of velvety brown colour, and there's a chrome curtain pole as well. Next to that there's some coat hooks. It's all cream. There's a radiator on the wall there. There's slight little bits, if you can see, of chip marks on the radiator. The back of the door is there's a hook right in the middle there where somebody's hung something off. It's got quite a lot of, around the edges, chip marks. And a few at the bottom there as well. The door frame of the living room is okay. There's slight chip marks, you can see one here just on the edge. And a few there at the top. The door to the toilet is in mint condition, and the carpet it's slightly, the carpet in here, it looks like it's slightly threadbare. It's not, it's where it just needs a good hoover. It's quite dirty, and there's also a mat on the inside as well. Stepping into the downstairs toilet, there's a slight crack there from the wall meeting the ceiling. Apart from that, the painting looks quite nice in here. There's a few little holes where they've hung stuff up. There's one there and one there. There's a little mirror attached to the wall and a towel rail. There's a sink. I can't actually see that working. The hot tap works. At the minute, the cold one doesn't. There's a toilet. The toilet's really clean, inside and out. The floor it's again quite dirty. It's got quite a lot of bits on the floor. Now following into the living room, the back of the door is absolutely fine. Stepping in there. has all been freshly painted in here. It's again like a magnolia colour. The skirting boards are slightly chipped all the way round. And that follows it round the room as well. They're all quite chipped. But the painting all round is really clean. There's one wall that is wallpapered. It's sort of a brown background with some gold print on. There's blinds up in the windows. They look fine, in good condition. They're the same all the way around. That window as well. There's a hook attached to the wall on this side, and that is the same on this side and on this side as well. The carpet has been newly fitted, so that's in very good condition. There's 2 radiators on the wall. And one here. There's multiple plug socket on this side and a wire here, which I'm guessing is the aerial. The ceiling, there's a light on the ceiling. There in the middle, there is a crack in the ceiling which hasn't yet been fixed. The plaster's cracked and the paint's come off. The back of the door is absolutely fine. There's also a plug socket on this side of the room as well, just a single one. The bottom of the windowsill, is quite dirty. There's quite a lot of chipped paint on there. There's some bits, there's a dead spider there, but it's actually quite dirty. It's more or less the same for that one as well. It's not so chipped, the edges are, but generally it's just quite dirty. As we now go into the kitchen, there's quite a lot of chip marks on the kitchen, just the outside of the door, on the back of the door, mainly just on this side, if you have a look there. It's quite chipped, but the door itself is fine. It's quite thick wooden. The back of the door it's slightly discoloured where it hasn't been painted, but it's more or less perfect, the back of the door. Again, following through, the colour in here is just magnolia. The kitchen cupboards are also a cream colour as well. The painting in here, I think it's been freshly done. So that's fine. The kitchen worktop is, as you can see there, it's got some watermarks on it. It's quite dirty. And the sink is particularly dirty with the cloth in at the minute. You can see the tap dripping. There's just slightly. Let's try and turn it on. But it is working. Both sides. There is blinds up in here. They seem to be working fine. I think that side's just a little caught at the end. Looking in the cupboards, So they've put up for shopping bags. What they've done is they've screwed that on. So if the new tenant was to take that off, there would be holes into the cupboard. There's still bits actually in the cupboard at the minute. They're quite dirty. They haven't actually been cleaned at all properly. There's some receipts and some plastic bags under the bin there, and you can see just the little bits of dirt that are collected. All the units are the same cream. As you can see here, where they have actually screwed on the shopping bag holder, it's come straight through the other side. This cupboard is empty. It's not too bad, although there's a little bit that's snapped off, if you can see there. It's a little bit of the cupboard. The hob looks like it's in okay condition. It needs a slight clean, but it's not too bad. This oven. The oven doesn't look too bad actually. I think it needs a clean, but it doesn't look too dirty. It's a Lamonia hob, and this says Neff on the oven. Should have a cupboard here. That one looks okay. That's just space there with a plug socket underneath where you could put a space for like your washing machine or your white goods. So on this side of the unit you've got drawers and you've got cupboards. This must be the instruction book for the hob and the oven, the logbook. So it's quite handy. This is a little key to get in the gas meter. That cupboard looks to me, that's clean, it's okay. Look at the drawers. Drawers empty. There's also cupboards at the top. They're all that's empty. This one is also empty. This one is also empty. So all the cupboards are the same colour, sort of like a cream. All the worktops are like a slate grey colour. And there's tiles at the back which are white. The tiles are white and it mirrors it the same on that side. So you've got your switch there for your oven and your hob. You've got quite a few plug sockets either side. You've also got one there. And you've also got your fuse point there and a plug socket there. The floor is like a cream laminate. It is particularly dirty. You can see there it's really quite dirty. Also the skirting boards are really dirty. follows it right the way around. It's the same. Also in the utility, there is French doors there to go out into the back garden with blinds already fitted. Slightly the blinds at the bottom here have broke a little bit, and there's scuffs all along the bottom, and it is particularly dirty as well along the bottom of the door. The ceiling is okay. I think it looks like there's been spotlights in here, but it doesn't look like they're being used. There is one light in the middle there that is already fitted. Moving on into the utility room, the back of the door again is slightly discoloured, but it looks fine. The actual door is in good condition. As you get into the utility room, there's a slight slant there. There's a little bit of dirt or cobwebs to the ceiling. You can see there where the paint is cracked around the outside of the door frame. On this side, it's just the white paint being used in here. The tiles, the white tiles mirror what is in the kitchen, and also so does the grey worktop. There's a radiator underneath there that is quite dirty. It's going slightly rusty on the top there, and it's particularly chipped as well. There's a plug socket there, and it's really the floor is quite dirty under this space. It does need a good clean. The sink it looks to me like there's paint in that sink. Yes, it is. The water in the tap is running fine, and that is the same with the hob. There's a stainless steel sink that's been fitted. They've left some slight boxes in the bottom of the sink cupboard. That's also quite dirty in there too. There's another space underneath with a plug socket underneath this unit. You've got your boiler fitted there. There's a slight gap underneath, and also there's a gap there as well next to the boiler. You've got your fuse there that's also fitted in this room. You've got an extractor fan there. The back of the door to the back garden, it's white, but that's quite discoloured. It looks a little bit yellowy. And you've got glass straight through the middle bit there. The floor is mirrored to the one in the kitchen, but as you can see, it's quite discoloured in places. There, and also on the other side, I'm guessing where something's been just sitting there for a while. It is particularly dirty in here as well. That this is probably slightly worse than the kitchen. There is a light in the utility room, and it is at the minute working, but there's no lampshade to go with it. There is also a light in the kitchen. The spotlights do appear to be being used, and they are all working. There is also lights underneath the worktop, and they are all working as well as the big one. Going up the stairs, the carpet looks in good condition. It is matching the hallway carpet. It's sort of like a light brown colour all the way up. The colour of the walls is also matching the hallway. It's like a magnolia colour, and then the skirting and the banister is all white. The banister is fairly chipped. As you can see, the whole way up is just quite cracked. The rest of the painting is fine, but the banister the whole way up is quite cracked, and you can see through the paint. So starting in the first bedroom you come to as you go up the stairs, the door frame looks fine. It's not got any, it's slightly chipped there, down that side. The back of the door is also the same as all the other doors in this property. The colour in here is also a magnolia colour, right the way round. There is brackets on the wall where a telly has been put. The light switch does seem to be working, and there is also a lampshade in there as well. The ceiling looks fine. The slight, where the tenants have painted before, there's slight paint marks on the ceiling. And there's a screw there on the wall. The carpet is the same beige, brown colour. That's absolutely fine. There's a radiator on that side of the wall, and there's blinds up in the window which are working fine. There's slight cracks there around the windowsill on both sides. Going out into the hallway, it is all the same magnolia. There is blinds up in the hallway window, and they are working fine. The window pane there is quite dirty. There's some slight paint marks, and it looks like where a cup's been put there. Yeah, it's quite dirty, and there's some slight cracks to this side of it. Slight cracks to the paint. There's a chrome curtain pole up above there, above the window. The painting in here looks fine. There's a lampshade. The stair frame looks, it's slightly chipped in places where it hasn't been freshened up. There's also a matching light, a lampshade there, a matching curtain pole, and the same blind, which is also in good condition, good working condition. the same. There's slight cracks around the paintwork there, but it's mainly just dirt again on this windowsill. The radiator is working fine. Some light switches for the bathroom, and both the lights up here are working. So there's a storage cupboard in the hallway that has got a lot of hangers in. It's got quite a lot of bits on the floor, but the carpet is fine in here. There's quite considerable amount of marks to the ceiling. There you can see it's all just cracked around there. That's all around the top, as you can see. There's a lot of cobwebs up there that actually looks like paint marks, but it's not, it's just cobwebs. And these poles are screwed onto the wall. You can see there where there's some scratches from the hangers. The carpet throughout the hallway is all the same. It's brown, a beige brown, and that is fine. Following on into the second bedroom, as you come on in, there's a lampshade, light switches here as you go in, and there's one bulb not working. The paint is the same, it is a magnolia colour. There's cracks all to the top there as you walk in to the ceiling. It's a plug socket as soon as you walk in. There's also a door stop on that side of the door. But the painting in here looks all even and the same. There has been a bracket. It looks like a coat hanger there. It's been screwed onto the wall, but that is actually missing one screw, as you can see just there. And the telly bracket is still screwed onto the wall. This is storage. And that's okay, there's a hanger left in there. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, but it's left in. There's a blind up in the windowsill. That is fine. And there's a little radiator there to the bottom of the window. Also in this room there is an ensuite. Towards the ensuite, the painting around the door is fine. The back of the door is also fine. So you walk into the ensuite, there's a window as soon as you come in. It's just slightly round the edges where the paint's lapped over a little bit onto the actual windowsill. There's tiles. There's white paint to the top of the room, and tiles meets halfway down. Just white, it's all white in here. Toilet. Flush is working fine. There's a radiator to the side of this. Slightly dusty. Needs a little bit of a clean. There's a toilet paper holder that side. And there's some little holes there in the paintwork where there's been screws put in. Along this side you've got a plug for shavers only. You've got a mirror attached to the wall and a towel rail, and then you've got your sink. Which is working fine. You've also got your little plug. And outside, it's just a normal shower. It's plastic. On the inside of the shower, you've got it is dirty in here. And you can see to the bottom there as well, it's quite dirty. Quite a bit. Don't know, I think it's just a seal, but there's some mould there where you would close the door. No. The shower head seems to be okay. It just needs a little bit of a clean. And you've got your start-stop there. The floor in here is black, but it is just laminate. And that's quite dirty. That needs a really good clean, but it's all okay. I think it's just where it's slightly dirty that it looks like it's a little bit discoloured. We're now coming into the family bathroom. The light's already on. There's some laminate on the floor, which is like it's a light wood colour. And that all looks okay. The same as in the other bathroom, it's all white in here. This one looks a lot cleaner. And the tiles meet halfway down. So that all looks fine. The tiles look okay in here as well. You've got your sink as soon as you come in with a little toilet brush to the side. It's working fine. And also that's working fine as well. There's toilet paper holder to the left of the toilet and a radiator underneath, which looks in fine condition. There's also another toilet paper holder to the right side of the toilet that is the same. The toilet flush is working. There's a bath on the far side. The bath looks fine, there's no cracks in the bath at all, and there's also no mould around the outside. There's a window to the back of the bathroom. The ceiling, the spotlights, and they all seem to be working. There's none that have gone out, and there's your extractor fan there. And there's a lock to the back of the door. Walking into the front bedroom. Around the pane of the door, there is some chip to the paintwork there on the back. The light does seem to be working in here. There is also a lampshade. The colour is a magnolia. Going around the whole of the room. There's blinds in the window that look to be working fine. Where there's been a curtain pole attached there's some screws in the top of the window, and that matches it the same on that side as well. There's a screw there where they must have had a picture, something up on the wall. And there was another TV bracket on the back of that wall, next to the door. The ceiling, there's a slight bit of paint there where the tenants have painted before. That's just purple paint, and there's a little bit of chip to the paintwork there on the ceiling. The carpet again is just beige brown, but there is a stain on this front bedroom carpet. If you can see, it looks slightly darker in a patch there. You've got a plug socket there and a double plug socket this side of the room. The skirting boards all around, they're quite dusty, but in some places there's paint dripped around the skirting board. And on this side particularly, there's quite a few cracks there to the paintwork. Particularly down this side, but to the back door, there is a key already in the back door to get out into the garden. There's a slight bit of paintwork on the door there. Going out into the back garden, the grass, there's quite a few weeds and the grass is quite long, but there's not an awful lot else in the garden, so it's quite low maintenance. There's some shrubs to the bottom of the garden there which are quite overgrown. You've also got a red bin into the back of the garden at the minute. There's some plant pots in that little... There's a gate, the back gate, which is double locked. To get down there into the front bit to take the bins out. The back of the door on the outside has got some paintwork dripped down there. Also the paintwork's quite worn on the outside of the door. There's some chip marks there to the paintwork. The first smoke alarm is downstairs. I'm just going to test this to see if it works. Yeah, that's working fine. There is also one upstairs, which I'm going to test as well. This one is also working. Just checking. The electric, it is 35384. Checking the water meter outside. It says 1296.